What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Running back again. Let's talk tires. All right. The Milestar tire. Well, I originally purchased this tire last year. And it failed. I don't think it was the tire that failed specifically. Road construction, potholes. So I had a blowout. I had another pair of tires, so I said, I'll just toss it in the garage and I'll go with the other ones. Not a good idea. A few months later, I had a blowout on those. So I was like, okay, all right, we'll deal with it. So now, I've replaced the Milestar tire that I lost. And we are going to set this tire up for a road review. Right now I got the Atsus on there. I just recently did a road review for that. Let's talk about this one. Now the Atsu tire, I like that Atsu tire. But as I said in the other video, it does have some shortcomings. I even have a video where I'm actually stuck in the snow. I don't know what what I was thinking, but I'm like, okay, people need to know. People need to know. You read all the reviews, you see the commercials and the advertisements. But how many of these videos are actual real world testing? Oh, I went to the track and we tested the wet and the dry. Very few of them, if any, have I seen that will actually test it in a real world scenario. On the streets, on the hill, down the hill, snowy weather. So with the Atsus, they're rated with temperatures a tread wear. It's like a 520. Yep, tread wear should be a 520. Okay, I'm trying to find the tread wear. Might be on the other side. So I cleaned up this side of the tire because this is, by the way, the old Atsu tire that I had to blow out. But it still looks good. It still looks good. You know, cleaned up a little bit. So let's see. Ooh, sorry about that. We can find this information. All right. For some reason, it's only on one side. All right. ID. That's pretty much the manufacturer's date. 35th week, 2019. Not that old. Not that old. So it's either been sitting up in somebody's garage, sitting up on a car. I don't know. I'm going to assume that it was sitting in a warehouse just collecting dust. You know, they don't really want to just throw away a tire if they can help it, so they're hoping and praying somebody buys it. All right. So, manufacture date, 35th week, 2019. And let's see, I know I just saw it. There we go. Treadwear. Treadwear is 440. Traction is A. Temperature A. So, from what I've heard, you can't compare the treadwear from one tire to the other unless they're from the same manufacturer. So like the Atsu tire and the Achilles tire would have different treadwear, but you can't say that the Atsu tire, being a lower treadwear, would be inferior to the Achilles. Okay. All right. I'm not a tire expert yet, but I'm learning some stuff. What I can say is that the Achilles tire that I do have, the Achilles Sport 2, is a summer tire. It's a directional tire. It has good tread, nice patterns, nice tread pattern, but that is not the type of tire you want to ride on in the winter. The Atsu tire, having a lower tread wear rating, will get you through colder climate better than the Achilles. Now that's not to say that they don't have other Achilles tires. Remember, I have the Sport 2, so there was a Sport 1. And reading on the internet, they have, I think it's called a Hawk tire. I have to revisit that, but they do make a few other tires. So, Atsu tire is rated 440. Now, that's what the manufacturer's saying. What I know for a fact from testing the tire, it'll get you through the spring, summer, and the fall. Now, if you are running short on cash, it will get you through the winter. Provided it doesn't get too cold. When the roads start getting icy cold, that's when you're gonna have problems. The Atsu tire loses grip. So we're talking about, like, in my situation, the Midwest, Great Lakes states, sometimes we have mild winters, and other times we have real bad winters. And this past winter, it was average. It had its bad points, but then it seemed to lighten up and snow started melting, but it was still cold. Atsu tires still performed. Then towards the end of the winter, we got that storm front come in, and it brought the ice. And thankfully, it was late at night. There weren't a lot of cars around on the road. So when I slipped, the ABS kicked in, and that's all she wrote. It carried me to a stop, a full stop. But if there were no ABS on this vehicle, I probably would have slid through that stop sign because it was too cold for the compound. Whatever compound they use, the grip on the Atsu tires was too cold to stop on that ice. And a lot of places will tell you that this is not, even though it says all season, this is not a dedicated winter tire. So yeah, you expect some shortcomings, but you always want to know, well, if this is my only option, what are the shortcomings? How far can I push this tire? Icy winter conditions. That's how far this tire goes. Anything less, and if you're talking about temperature range, like I said, icy winter conditions, you're talking about less than 30 degrees. Probably less than 25. But definitely icy winter conditions. It can handle the cold, it just can't handle the ice. So keep that in mind. If you grab you a pair of these, or if you grab a full set of these, you will do good as long as you keep in mind that these are not made for harsh winter weather. So when the weather report says, oh, next week we're going to have a snowstorm and it's going to be such and such inches of snow and could possibly be some ice, have your money saved up. Be ready. Be ready. I don't want nobody out here on these roads getting killed or getting your vehicle messed up because you got the wrong set of tires on. Options, people. Options. And with that being said, let's get back to the Milestar. Now, what I've recently started doing is I get me a little spray bottle. I don't know why I even did this. I get me a spray bottle. I'm sitting up here looking at the tire tread. You know, sometimes you can't really decipher what you need to know from the picture. The picture either make the tire wider than it's supposed to be, or the tread looks kind of funny. So one day I get my water bottles from a tent and I just start spraying the tire. Now it wasn't this one. Granted, it was one that was dirty, so it could use a little water. Oh, well now. Yeah, that'll happen too. A bug. What do you expect? Summertime, they're everywhere. So what are we looking at? We're looking at water. Now the water is beating up. As I'm looking at the water running down, it's breaking up, it's beating up, and then it's falling through the cracks. So you're splashing through puddle, or it's just started raining, tire hits the road, water beats, splashes out. Now, of course, on the road, it's going to be up underneath the tire, so it's going to go all through these grooves. It's going to get squeezed through the grooves. And, yeah. Out the back. So say you're in the car, you're going in this direction. Tires are rolling forward. This is all the water that's coming off the tire from the back end. The one thing I'm concerned about, though, is cold weather. Sometimes it does rain in the winter. It rains in the fall. So, how will these tires actually perform in cold weather? You can get almost any tire to perform, unless it's a dedicated winter tire. You can get almost any tire to perform in the spring and summer. It's either going to wear out quick or it's going to wear out slow. But my concern is somebody puts these tires on in the winter, or they put them on in the fall. They're like, okay, I got some two good tires. I just bought tires, so I'm good. Are these tires going to last? So, what I've decided is, for each tire, each set of tires that we buy, we're going to do 2 reviews. We're going to test them in warm weather, and then we're going to test them in not so warm weather, cold weather. So, tread wear. Let's spin this tire around and see what it says. Okay. Before we get to that, I just had a thought. So here's the thought. Oh, you see me spray the water on there, simulating the water falling off of the tire. You know, it's breaking up as the tire rotates up out of the water. The water beads up and it falls through the grooves. Okay. But what about actually stopping in the rain? So as I'm pulling the tire, because I had to pause the video so I could turn the tire around, but as I'm pulling the tire, I noticed there was a puddle on the ground. So I'm trying to, I don't want to hit the camera, but you see how slow this tire is moving? Now I just slid this tire over the puddle. You can tell because the tire is wetter than it already was when I sprayed it. And I mention that because if you're going to have tires on, you need to know that they're going to stop when you hit those brakes. Summertime it rains, springtime it rains, in the fall it rains. So you need to know, hey, your tire's going to stop. So it does have decent grip. How good the grip is, we'll know that for certain once we put the tires on. So, see, you can still see the lines on the ground where I slid the tire. And I believe I said once before, if you just get in the car and you need to put some cheap tires, some inexpensive tires on there real quick, get you some Milestars. Oh, that is exactly what we were looking for. There's some more information. Let's see. Uh, 3X. What the heck? 03X? Is that what this is? That makes no sense. Oh, okay. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Okay. Here we go. So these tires, the Milestar tires are rated, tread wear rated at 540. Now remember, the Atsus were only rated for 440. Traction is A, temperature is A. Make sure you can see. Okay, it's got an A temperature rating. So you definitely can ride this tire from spring to fall. Traction, it's got good grip. It's got an A rating. Tread wear, 540. How fast? Tread wear is basically how fast the tread wears out. Tread wear. It's in the name. So, from what I've seen, 540 seems to be the average. I believe they go up to 6 or 700. I'm not sure on that. Depends on the tire. But yeah. It's got a tread wear of 540. It's got a traction of A and a temperature rating of A. So the manufacturers are saying that this tire is good to go. I don't believe everything the manufacturers say. So we will slap these bad boys on there, run them around for a while, and when I'm ready to do the review, I will let you know. So this has been a preview of the Milestar tires. And with that, I will talk to you Later.